Today, we are diving deep into the subconscious to shatter some illusions. We're breaking down a comprehensive guide from our source material on how to elevate your self-discipline to an absolutely elite level, something we're calling God mode discipline. Look, this isn't your standard fluffy motivational talk. We're gonna deconstruct the actual psychological barriers that keep most people totally stagnant, and we're gonna lay out the exact frameworks used by top-tier performers. All right, let's just jump right into it. So, what is true freedom anyway? I mean, seriously, I want you to define it right now in your head. Because for most of us, if we're being totally honest, our definition of freedom sounds a lot like having zero restrictions. We think it means waking up whenever we want, eating whatever junk we crave, acting on every random impulse, and, just avoiding hard work altogether. But what if I told you that this widely accepted definition is actually a complete trap? Section 1, the illusion of freedom. To really get why this is an illusion, we need to hold a mirror up to modern society. Today, people constantly confuse mere comfort with actual liberty. They think, hey, I'm not physically locked in a cell, so I must be free. But true captivity, that usually happens inside the mind. Let's walk through a random Tuesday for a hypothetical guy our source calls Mr. OC, Mr. Overconfident. He wakes up late around 8:30, immediately arguing with his family when they ask him to be productive. Boom, 10 a.m. hits, he's already doom-scrolled 50 short-form videos, totally convinced he's becoming a business guru just by swiping. By 1 p.m., he completely abandons his actual work to read up on some celebrity wedding gossip. And by 4:30 p.m., he's skipping his classes, just straight up lying to his teachers to save face. Now, Mr. OC feels totally free because he thinks he's choosing these distractions. But in reality, he is literally shackled by his own impulses. He is a prisoner to immediate gratification. And this illustrates a massive psychological trap: analysis paralysis. Our modern minds are just bombarded with information all day long. You might see a massive 5-core luxury mansion online and analyze every single detail of it. But instead of being inspired to do the heavy lifting required to actually achieve that, your brain just gets overwhelmed. So what do? You lower your standards. You tell yourself, oh, I don't need all that. A basic, easy life is fine. You literally choose to settle for mediocrity simply to dodge the struggle. The analysis just leads straight to paralysis. So here is the harsh, undeniable truth of the matter. Only the disciplined are truly free. If you don't have self-discipline, you aren't a free thinker. You're a hostage. You are a slave to your cravings, to your insecurities, and to your circumstances. True freedom is the ability to command yourself to do what's necessary, even when you really, really don't feel like it. Section 2, the drivers of discipline. So if discipline is the master key to freedom, what's actually fueling it? How do we flip the switch from an average mindset to that exceptional God mode mindset? It all comes down to the engine inside your head. An average mind is mostly motivated by rewards, right? They work to get a treat, a vacation, a pat on the back, and they're super easily satisfied. But the exceptional mind? Totally different wiring. They are heavily motivated by pain, specifically the fear of regression. They are terrified of sitting around stagnant energy, of wasting their potential, and of being at the exact same level year after year. They aren't just chasing a shiny object. They are running away from the pain of an unfulfilled life. But listen, just knowing your purpose, your deeper why, is only half the bottle. The ultimate catalyst is combining that deep why with absolutely relentless urgency. You can want to be a millionaire, or build an insane physique, or change the world, but if you subconsciously think you have 50 years to pull it off, you're never going to start. Exceptional people inject a burning, immediate urgency into their daily actions. They literally operate as if their time is running out today. Section 3, conquering the inner devil. Now, the second you try to apply that extreme urgency, you're gonna hit a wall, an internal enemy inside your own mind that fights tooth and nail against discipline. To beat it, we have to understand it. There's this great quote from Jeff Bezos that perfectly nails this internal battle. He says, stress primarily comes from ignoring things that you shouldn't be ignoring. Stress doesn't come from hard work. See, our internal devil tells us to avoid hard tasks so we don't get stressed out. But actually, procrastinating on the very things we know we must do is what creates that massive, heavy anxiety in the first place. Sitting down and putting in the work is what actually cures the stress. So what are the actual tactics this inner devil uses? Well, it craves constant comfort. It begs you to compromise, whispering things like, hey, you've worked hard enough today, just take a break. It triggers impulsive desires, pushing you to choose instant gratification over your grand vision. And you need to understand this isn't some mystical curse upon you, it's an evolutionary survival mechanism. Your primal brain is literally wired to keep you safe, lazy, and as far away from the pain of growth as possible. You have to actively go to war with your own biology.
The source material suggests a truly fascinating strategy to beat this primal programming. You must set God-level references. You have to stop looking up to average influencers or your mediocre peers. If your heroes are average, your actions are going to be average. You need to benchmark yourself against historical and modern giants. People like Alexander the Great, Emperor Ashoka, Ratan Tata, or Steve Jobs. When you calibrate your reference points to that level, you force your daily habits to elevate. You start asking yourself, would a conqueror be hitting the snooze button right now? Definitely not.
Section 4, the rule of sacrifice. To really accept this, we've got to talk about the brutal economic reality of success. Nature operates on a very strict exchange rate. You cannot get something exceptional by giving something average. There's this incredible anecdote in the source about Cristiano Ronaldo that illustrates this perfectly. After a massive national victory, all his teammates went out to party and celebrate, which, is totally normal. But Ronaldo, he was spotted back on the field, entirely alone, practicing obsessively for 4 more hours. That is what it means to be obsessed with mastering your craft. While everyone else is seeking the reward of comfort, the elite are out there seeking the next level of sacrifice. Which brings us to a controversial but super powerful realization. True champions do not have an off button. Elite performers aren't desperately looking for escapes or counting down the days to a long vacation because their minds are constantly, persistently processing how to turn their vision into reality. Work isn't something they need to escape from. It's just their primary mode of existence. Think about this number for a second. 5 crore rupees plus tax. The source uses this brilliant analogy. Let's say you want a luxury life. You want to go buy a Lamborghini. You can't just walk into the dealership and say, hey, I'll give you half now, and maybe I'll pay the rest later if I feel like it. No way. The price is exactly 5 crore plus tax. If you want a top-tier, exceptional life, you must pay the exact full price that reality demands. And that is the law of sacrifice. There are absolutely no shortcuts in the game of extreme success. Nature doesn't accept EMIs or easy installment plans. You must pay the price of success upfront, in full, with your sweat, your intense focus, and your relentless hard work. You can't negotiate the price of exceptionalism. You either pay it or you settle for an average life. It's that simple. Section 5, overcoming the final obstacles. All right, so you're willing to pay the price. What does that actually look like on a random Tuesday? Once you commit to God mode discipline, you're going to face 3 specific daily trials that will constantly try to break your consistency. These are the 3 final bosses. Step 1, survive the boredom. Step 2, master the repetition. Step 3, ignore the fear of judgment. Our modern brains are so addicted to constant novelty. When you strip all that away, your brain is going to scream at you. Let's look at how repetition really plays into this. Because true discipline, it's finding peace and doing the exact same boring task thousands of times. The source shares this great example of a salesman who got totally bored after making 20 calls and wanted to switch to a new task. But the reality is the compounding magic of discipline actually happens when you make 5,000 sales calls using the exact same script. It happens when you eat the exact same healthy meals and grind through the exact same workouts, day in and day out. True mastery lives right there in the repetition of the mundane. And finally, you have to confront this reality. People are going to mock your discipline. For sure. When you start waking up at dawn, working relentlessly, and refusing to join in on time-wasting stuff, average people will try to pull you down. Why? Because your intense focus is a giant mirror reflecting their own comfortable mediocrity. Your ambition is a threat to their ego. You have to learn to let their judgment go in one ear and write out the other. Only take advice from people who actually have skin in the game. And so I'm going to leave you with this one question today. Are you ready to pay the price up front, or are you going to settle for an average life? The illusion of freedom wants you to just stay comfortable, but true God mode discipline demands absolutely everything you have. The choice is entirely yours. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer. I hope this breakdown gave you a serious new framework for tackling your own goals. Keep pushing, and I'll catch you in the next one.